What you see behind me is most of my apartment. I live in a tiny studio apartment in New York City. I am happy to trade space for location, for being close-ish to work and to my friends, but it also means that I do not have very much space, and I have gotten really, really good at organizing and decorating studio apartments. So here are a few of my tips. First of all, you've got to lay out the space in a way that makes sense to you. For most of us, that means one area for sleeping and one area for like hanging out, entertaining, watching TV. Only you will know the way to fit your furniture in your apartment, but what I will say is that area rugs are a really good way to divide up the space. You'll see lots of apartments divide up their space by using like a chest-high bookshelf. There's this like modular IKEA bookshelf that everybody uses. Others might use freestanding like silk or screen room dividers, or even I've seen curtains before, but in my opinion this makes the space look chunky and smaller. It also blocks out the light if, in my apartment, the light is right here and the rest of the apartment is back there. So area rugs, recommend them. But speaking of bookshelves, storage is going to be a challenge for most people. So I recommend taking advantage of height. You'll see behind me that I have two Billy IKEA bookshelves with some boxes on top that holds all of my off-season clothing. I've also got a wire rack in my closet. My closet's just like a coat closet with one shelf above the hanging rack to give myself some more sort of structural integrity for my clothes piles. So I have two, small piles of clothes under the rack and then two more going higher above them. That way the clothing can go higher without just being in one like teeter-tottering pile. I did the same thing in my freezer, incidentally. I just got a little wire shelf from the Container Store, put it into the freezer. That way my food is not just like falling over in stacks and piles, 15 inches high. There is some space for actually organizing it. But you're gonna have to get creative with your storage. Speaking of small footprints, for example, my dresser is not a traditional dresser, but a shoe cabinet. It's intended for hallways, so it's very shallow but taller than normal. That way the drawers pull out at an angle instead of straight forward. So it still stores a great amount of clothing, but it doesn't take up a huge amount of space. I can stand here at the foot of my bed, which is where I'm standing when I am vlogging, and have, my arms outstretched and not be able to touch any furniture. I have room to stand here and vlog and get ready in the morning and do my hair and do whatever without having to be sandwiched between the open drawer of a dresser and the bed. And however you achieve the storage that you need, staying organized is a crucial component. Use boxes, use bins, fold your clothes and keep them folded. Use Tupperware, use old jewelry boxes to organize pins and makeup and whatever else in your dresser drawer. The smallest amount of mess, if I try an outfit on, decide I don't like it, and toss the shirt onto my couch, that makes my whole apartment feel like it is in chaos, and there isn't much room to put stuff that isn't its intended place. So if you're moving soon into a new studio apartment or a small space of any kind, I recommend really thinking in advance about how you're going to organize the space. And when you get there, don't unpack stuff willy-nilly and just put it somewhere, because my experience tells me that that thing will never move from the first place that you put it down. Get there, put the boxes down, start putting up your storage solutions, whether that's a bookshelf or a dresser or a rack in your closet, and then stand back and say, what is the smartest and most efficient way to put all of my clothes or my books or my miscellaneous stuff into this space? And once everything is away, decorating is the fun part, especially in a small place. I think that a unified color scheme really makes things feel classy and not chaotic. I went with this taupe gray color that you can see behind me on the walls, and then a light blue accent wall over the fireplace to match. It was sort of a gross blue on the door, but I just painted it over with a slightly more vibrant shade. So those are my sort of main colors in the apartment. My area rug has blue in it, my bedspread is white, my couch is white, my pillows, as you can see down there, are blue. And I really make use of framed art, mirrors, and lamps. I think that those are the easiest ways to make your apartment feel really classy, to hang real things on the walls, and to use sources of lighting that aren't the overhead light. Again, these are pro tips. This is my second apartment, so I've been able to kind of level up a little bit in the decorating arena. And finally, it's much easier to organize and decorate a place if you have less stuff to do it with. There's a reason that like minimalist and contemporary rooms look so calming. It looks very zen. So certainly if you're moving somewhere new soon, or if you're already living in a place and you feel like you want to organize and purge a little bit, read Marie Kondo's book. Get some inspiration from Zen websites or from organizing websites and go through it, clean it up, donate clothes that you don't like. If someone gave you a lamp or a decoration or a knick-knack years ago for a holiday that you haven't thrown out because you feel bad about it, think, is there someone I can re-gift this to? Is there a place that I can donate that someone just starting out or a student or someone who wants to decorate on a low budget would love this item way more than me? That definitely helps me when I get sentimental or guilty about recycling or upcycling or donating things. Is this item is just making me like roll my eyes when I look at it. is there someone who would genuinely enjoy it like the gift giver intended I did? So please share your small space living, organizing, decorating tips in the comments, and I will see you for more VEDA tomorrow.